Hey, are we going? Okay. Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Breaking out the headset and mic tonight. I was just doing a live stream on my other channel. I thought, since I'm here, let's just roll into a beer review. Sorry, the color's kind of off, but anyway. So, if you saw my live stream this morning, I got a new, my first crate of beer from Tavor since like February. And I decided to start with this one. It's one of the biggest and strongest. This is 903 Brewers, oak aged, Coffee Coconut Sasquatch Reserve, Imperial Chocolate Milk Stout, oak aged on coffee beans and coconut. And it's a beast at 12.3. I guess that's why they call it Sasquatch. Let's see what at the heart of our blah blah blah. I always like to just tell me what malts and hops are in it. That's all I really want to know. So and it even has the glassware on there. I love when brewers do that. Where are these guys at? I know they were somewhere Sherman, Texas. I don't know. I'd have to look on a map. I don't know where in Texas that is. So anyway, here we go. Got the appropriate glassware. Probably looks black on camera, but it's actually a really dark brown, and it had like a brown fizzy head. It just fizzled away. So. I'm definitely getting a lot of coffee on here. Probably coffee more than anything. Well, actually, the coconut's in there pretty strong too. So yeah, it kind of reminded me of Funky Buddha's Last Snow, which is a coffee coconut porter, but that's under 7% ABV. This one's double that almost. There is a sweet smell to it. I'd imagine they're probably using lactose sugar in here for the so-called milk. They're calling it chocolate milk stout, but I wouldn't say it doesn't smell like sickly sweet. And oddly enough, for 12.3, I really don't get any alcohol. No, it's really, really clean. No fusel. And again, this is oak age. It's not bourbon barrel aged, so it's probably aged on staves or like brand new. Well, probably not in brand new barrels or oak spiral or something like that. Just aged on wood. It's not the same as barrel aging. So I mean, maybe there's like with wood, you're gonna get a natural vanilla kind of aroma, so it's kind of hard to like that and the whatever chocolate's in there. So I don't know if it's like what they call chocolate. Is it cocoa nibs, cocoa powder, chocolate syrup? I always want to know that. Anyway, but yeah, I like the coffee and coconut things going there. It smells pretty good. Doesn't smell too sweet. Let's see if it tastes sweet. Cheers. Whew. I said I couldn't taste any, or couldn't smell any alcohol, but I can definitely taste it. The whole second half is just, whew, just a, I don't know if I go as far as say a burning sensation, but it is pretty warm. Plus, I'm drinking this in late June in Florida, even though it's almost 9 o'clock at night. It's still probably not the ideal time. Well, I mean, you probably want to drink this on like New Year's Eve when it's 2 degrees out, but so it is not quite the coffee and coconut bomb that I was hoping for. Definitely a solid Imperial Stout base in there. Turn this way. Um, I would not call it like I'm not getting like coffee roastiness on here, or like I'm sorry, like malt roastiness on here. The coffee is more like the coffee, like the flavor of coffee, not so much the bitterness of it, like that dark, just that raw like bitterness. If you ever had just straight black coffee, you know what I'm talking about. I would not call it like super chocolatey. It's actually more vanilla. All so-called like chocolate, anything chocolate, like chocolate cake, chocolate candy, anything chocolate flavored is all made with vanilla. Um, like you start with vanilla and you just add like a little bit of like cocoa nibs. Like chocolate is actually just kind of like a little bit of like a spice kind of flavor. Not a pepper spice, like a you know uh shelf rack, spice rack kind of spice. Like your oregano and salt and pepper and stuff like that. It's got, yeah, I'd say the mouth feels pretty full on this, but the carbonation is pretty low, like lower than it should be. I mean, usually Imperial Stouts, the carbonation is not exactly, champagne effervescence, but it just feels like a little, it feels a little undercarbonated to me. I still got a lot left in the bottle, so you can see coming out. Yeah, it's a lovely clear brown. It's like what coffee looks like in the pot before when it's being percolated. I just feel like there's something missing on this beer. It's like, yeah, there's coffee and coconut, but again, this is my problem like with these, beastly imperial pastry stouts, and I probably would throw this under a pastry stout because they're calling it chocolate milk stout. Um, Anything like if it's chocolate, if it's caramel, if it's vanilla, marshmallow, butterscotch, anything like sounds like a topping that you would put on an ice cream sundae, probably consider that a pastry stout. So yeah, like I said a few videos ago, like I'm really over pastry stouts, and I mean this one's not bad. It's just not great what I thought it was gonna be. Because it's just kind of like those. I want like a big coffee and coconut flavor, and I want them up here, and you would think for 12.3 ABV like they would be at like this intensity, but actually like it's just down here. So it's kind of like this standard imperial stout, like without like a with just like the coffee and coconut just like as this background essence. And yeah, like the alcohol is really strong on it, and I will say like it seems to be pretty clean fermentation. I'm not getting green apple. I'm not getting butter. I'm not getting anything like that. It doesn't taste like band aids or something like that. So as far as fermentation goes, I mean that's good, but I think like and I'm kind of weird. Like I think this beer. Well, I was gonna say you could age it. You could age it to mellow the booze, but because the coffee and coconut are fairly mild as it is, if you age this like a year or two, it's just gonna be a regular imperial stout. Well, yeah, 'cause I mean like I would like you kind of compare this to, like Founders KBS or CBS, and I've had those CBS and they age really well. Um, like it loses the intense booziness, but it maintains like the maple syrup and a little bit of coffee on it. And I don't think that would really happen with this one. Yeah, so this is not anything special. In fact, I would say it's a little disappointing. It's not a bad beer. If I'm scoring it to like wood aged and also with like an imperial stout as the base and also spice or vegetable, or I wish for whatever the next BJCP revision is, they need to come up with a pastry stout base style. Um, I'd probably put it under that, or spice or vegetable with imperial stout base style. But this is like, I think on Untapped, either 3.5 or 3.75, maybe 4. But I feel like if you're gonna do 4 or higher, it has to be a beer where you're like every sip is like, wow, that's really good. And like on this one, I'm just like, yeah, it's good. It's not great. And drinkability on it's pretty low too because of the intense booziness. I don't think it just didn't need to be 12.3. What about like 8.3 or maybe 9.3? When you get into double digits on ABV, they just more often than not they just turn into monsters. Like a Goose Island Bourbon County, founders CBS, KBS, they can usually, get away with those just huge bodies, but not so much on this one. So it's a little disappointing because I've had a bunch of these 903 beers that I've got off Tavor over the last 2 years, and they've all been pretty good. And this one is like only okay. They had I think it was called a homeschool stout that I had last year, which was very similar to this one. But I think it was like the same thing except not oak aged. Speaking of which, I'm really not getting a woody character on here. Yeah, I mean, like I said with the aroma, like it's kind of hard to really discern the oak from the chocolate or vanilla or whatever what's going on there. I mean, maybe it's there, it's just not obvious, So, yeah, little disappointing. It's not, again, not a bad beer, but not a great beer. I would not buy this again unless it was like dirt cheap. And I should have brought up what I paid for it. I think I probably paid like $8.99 for this one can. So at least they give you a full 16 ounce. So anyway, I am rambling. If you watch all the way to the end, you are awesome. And if you want to sign up for Tavor, link in the description. Click that link. You're going to get $10 off your first purchase, and it lets them know that I sent you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. All right. Bye.